My name is Cheryl Patton, and in this video, I'm going to show you how I built a 3 foot by 5 foot picture frame for just under $100. I love pheasants. It reminds me of my hometown on the edge of the sandhills in western Nebraska. So in my office, I created a collage of framed pheasant pictures paired with 3 figurines and a vase of feathers. On the opposing wall, I have a tapestry of a single pheasant that did not quite work for me. This is my project. It is to frame this tapestry that I had hanging in my office, and I had ordered it on fineart.com. Tapestry is a loose term for this. It's actually just a print on like a silk or a polyester. Not silk, but more of a polyester. To beef it up, I actually lined it. So I did sew some heavy-duty lining on it, and I made a pocket right here for my rod. But once I had it on the wall, as I've shown you, it looked very dull, very lonely. So I decided to frame it, and I decided to build my own frame. I love the tapestry. I like the simplicity of the pheasant. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach it to the hardboard, which will set inside the frame that I'm making. My first step was to cut a 1/8 inch 4 foot by 8 foot tempered hardboard purchased at Home Depot. My husband Daryl assisted me in cutting it to the correct size with a circular saw, and then we ripped it with a table saw. Now what I've done is I've taken my Velcro for fabric and I've attached the nubby side, the rough side, with the soft side. So I've attached that together and then I've cut it in 2-inch strips. My plan is to take the side off of the nubby side, attach it to my hardboard, and then I'll affix the tapestry onto the hardboard, and as I do so, I'll peel off the side on the soft. This way I can manipulate the tapestry so it's even and the little border around the side is even. Now that I have Velcro on all the corners and on the ends, I'm going to take my tapestry and I'm going to leave that pocket there. I think it's going to be okay. And then I'm going to have help from my cat. And then I'm going to take the hardboard's a little smaller than the tapestry. But that's going to be okay. Now what I'm going to do is peel back the tapestry, peel back the back from the soft side, and then I'm going to affix it. Once I get it in the frame, I'll be able to have help from my cat. Once I get it in the frame, I'll be able to maneuver it so that the border is the way I want it once I actually set this inside the frame. My frame consists of a 3-inch baseboard purchased at Home Depot. It is straight on one side and curved on the other. I wanted to beef the frame up, so I applied wood glue and attached 1x2 pine board. This created a thicker outer edge and also a lip, called a rabbet, for the hardboard to sit in. For added security, I nailed the two together with 1-inch brad nails. Once done, I let the glue set for a day. Using the hardboard dimensions, I measured from the inside corners of the rabbet to determine my width and length. With a compound miter saw, I cut a 45-degree angle. I rotated the saw and then cut the other end also at a 45-degree angle. Once I dry fitted the 4 sides, I glued the mitered ends together and secured them with corner clamps. A couple of my boards were slightly warped, so Daryl held them as straight and tight as possible while I reclamped. Then I nailed them with 1.5-inch brad nails. After the glue had set for a day, I removed the corner clamps. This is a close-up of what they look like. Using wood putty, I filled the nail holes and any edges that showed a gap. The one corner that was part of the warped board needed a little extra putty. It is amazing what putty does to cover those pesky imperfections. After the putty dried, I sanded with 120 grit sandpaper. For the sides and edges, I used an electric sander, checking with my finger to make sure all is smooth. For the finer edges on top, I used a sand block. Now it's time to stain. I prefer a gel stain applied with a cotton cloth. I add an additional coat for a darker color. It perfectly matched the brown in my pheasant. Once the stain had dried, I set the tapestry onto the rabbit, then laid a 1x1 board on top and nailed with 1-inch brad nails to keep in place. The last step was to screw D-ring picture hangers on each end and string a wire across. This is my pheasant tapestry before, and this is my pheasant tapestry after I framed it. Now I have a frame just the size I wanted in a rich brown color that better coordinates with the pheasants on the other side of the wall, all for a fraction of what it would have cost if I had it professionally built. There's a detailed list of materials in the description below. And meanwhile, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. And if you want to see more home decorating projects, visit my website at www.cherylpatton.com.